Hi, everybody. Dan Illman, Mike Beer, the DRFBets race of the day for Friday, October the 11th. Race number 9 at Keeneland. We're going 5.5 furlongs on the turf. This is a graded stakes race, the Grade 3 Buffalo Trace, Franklin County for fillies and mares. They are turf sprinters, and you're going to want to check out the DRF Clocker report presented by Mike Welsh and his astute team of morning clockers. They're going to take you through all the workouts all Keeneland meet long. Learn more at drf.com/Keeneland. They are a perfect complement to your DRF past performances. Let's take a look at the field for the Franklin County. You can access free formulator past performances on the Race of the Day event page at drf.com. Download them, handicap along with us. It is a big field, Mike. This is a very, very contentious division. Morticia, the number 3, has been one of the more consistent runners in the division all year long.
Yeah, she certainly has. I mean, I guess she's the horse to beat. It'll be interesting, I think, more than anything else, just to see how they bet the race, Dan, because I suspect she'll be the favorite, but I can't believe she'd be a big favorite in this race.
And she's your 9-2 morning line favorite in this race. Let's throw up the Timeform US pace projector. And remember, when you visit timeformus.com after scratches, this pace projector will update. In Marty McGee's free race advance for the Franklin County, available on drf.com, he mentioned that the 10 Goldwood 50-50 to run in this race. You take Goldwood's Chiclet out there, the number 12 might be able to get a nice, easier early lead. Let's take the field in post position order, beginning with the number 1, Violent Times, coming off of a win last time out at Saratoga. Cribus Buyer last time, Mike, but I thought she kind of had all the best of it. There really wasn't a lot of pace going on. There was a long shot setting the early fractions. She sat just off, took over in the stretch, went about her business. She's in good form, good tactical speed. Never saw her as a graded stakes horse.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. I guess she's still lightly raced enough to hold out some hope for her, and she does have a good running style. I actually liked her a lot. 2 starts back at Saratoga. Could not believe she didn't win that race after the trip she got. I mean, I guess she improved a little last time, Dan, but that wasn't much of a field.
I think it's safe to say that the number 2, Alexandra, is the best closer in this race. Now, with her running style, she's going to need some pace, and she's going to need some racing luck. In her last 2 losses, I think she has not had pace nor racing luck. In the Royal North 3 starts back at Woodbine, and we've talked about that race a lot, she ended up very wide, last, off of a slow pace, and she still came running. Last time out in the ladies' sprint at Kentucky Downs, just one of those rare days where you had to be on the lead. Here's Morticia, who got a clever ride up front. Alexandra is going to fire. She's going to split horses. She's going to come with a late kick for third, but she was just completely against the track profile, wasn't she, Mike?
Yeah, I mean, she really had no chance in this race. They rated her to the back of the field. You see Morticia on the lead. She was strong throughout up front in this race. She's never threatened it here. She's actually much the best in here. But I do think Alexandra ran another good race. And so far, Dan, as far as I can tell, when they sprint around turf, that's all she does. She runs good races. She just needs a trip.
And I kind of like her at 5.5, a little cutback. She can handle 6.5, obviously, but a cutback to 5.5 really works. It's all about whether she can get a trip in this big and bulky field, but you know she's going to be coming late. As for Morticia, as I said in the top, since the beginning of her career, she's been consistently among the leaders of the filly and mare turf sprint division. She's won 10 of 25. She won this race in 2017, and you saw her scamper on home last time out in the ladies' sprint. She was able to get an easy lead. The good news is she doesn't need the lead to win, but you know she's going to be forward because she has that excellent tactical ability. Now, I know you and Morticia have not exactly seen eye to eye throughout your respective careers, but she's very dangerous. But I kind of agree with you. At a relatively short price, there are others. She doesn't have the strongest edge over this field.
Yeah, I mean, she's a good horse, and she's been a good horse from day one. I happen not to be her biggest fan, and I just don't like taking her at short prices, Dan. But I think in a lot of ways she's the horse to beat because, as you mentioned, she's very consistent. She has really good speed. So to me, you know, whether the 10 Goldwood runs here or not, this horse is going to be up with the pace the entire way, and she's very dangerous.
The 4 is Stillwater Cove, and I have to admit, I was a little disappointed with her last race at Kentucky Downs. They were turning her back to a more appropriate distance. She parked herself right off Morticia early, and Morticia just ran away from her at the top of the straight. She kept on evenly. If you want to give her the excuse that, okay, she didn't like Kentucky Downs in that long straightaway, and 2 back, she didn't want to go 2 turns, you're left with a filly that's had a couple of trips.
Yeah, I mean, I think she's okay. I'm with you. I was a little disappointed last time that she couldn't really make a race of it. But she did a career best Buyer. I do think even cutting back again works for her. Shorter is probably better for her. And I do think there's a chance she could still take a step forward at some point. I want to use her if she's a big price, Dan, but I do realize she has to improve to beat this field.
In Marty McGee's race advance, he also mentions that Hot Shot Anna might scratch for this race for something later in the weekend at Keeneland. Now, she is a synthetic wonder horse. She's won her last 3 races. She's won 7 out of her last 8. She's won 10 of 22. She's won on the lead. She's won off the pace. I think she's slightly better over a synthetic surface, Mike, but Hot Shot Anna's consistency cannot be denied.
Yeah, her consistency and her running style for this race, because she's got another horse with good tactical speed in here. And you only have to go back 3 starts on her PPs, then she ran a terrific race on turf 3 starts back. I think this race is going to be tougher for her, but I also don't think she's in over her head against these horses.
The number 6, Miss Gossip, was taken for $62.5 during the summer of 2018. And while she's yet to win for these new connections, she has earned a valuable stakes placing 2 starts back, finishing second behind Alexandra in the Smart and Fancy Stakes. She's going to be coming from the back of the pack. She should get a fair pace to attack. I just don't think she's the best closer in the race. I believe that falls to Alexandra.
Yeah, I agree with that. I like her as a horse. I could use her underneath. I wouldn't use her on top.
Let's talk a little bit about Rocky Policy, the number 7. Nice claim. 3 back for $40,000. She ran in that Turf Amazon Stakes last time out. She swings very wide, turning into the stretch, and now she's going to have to run down the leader. Now, the leader's 55-1. Moving into second right now is Rocky Policy. And Rocky Policy is just going to take this long shot down late in the game. This Turf Amazon did not come back a very fast race. I don't think it was a very strong race. And now she has to prove it against tougher horses.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. I didn't think that was the strongest race in the road. She got a great trip in there and ran down the long shot. I just don't think she's good enough to beat this field, Dan, but she's another horse who can get a good trip in this race.
I thought a little bit Me ran well at Churchill Downs 4 back in that Unbridled Sydney race, shuffled back a little bit early, then came out and had to run down Morticia and did so at a big price. And last time out at Kentucky Downs, maybe against the track profile, we saw her roll into second when finishing ahead of Alexandra in that clip. I think she's a little bit underrated. I also think she's the kind of mare that will often settle for minor awards, so I'll probably just use her underneath.
Yeah, I mean, she has a race or two that would put her squarely in the mixer. I thought she ran fine last time, even though she didn't threaten Morticia in that race at a big price. She has a race that I guess would give her a real look in here. I didn't love her, but I'm not way against her either. The
last time Beechwood Ella ran in a true turf sprint way back at Keeneland in the Limestone Turf Sprint, and that was a race where she was far back early. I thought she had to weave her way through some traffic, and she finished okay with a nice solid run. She went away after that race. She's had two-turn races at Gulfstream, including this race in the Miss Gracie, a race that just seems to fall apart. She lagged far behind. She's going to alter course to the far outside. She's going to go off the screen for a second, and she's going to come running late. But I just had a feeling that this pace collapsed, and now turning back in distance, she might be completely outrun.
Yeah, Closers had the best of it in this race, and she's going to be along for second at the end, but she was never a threat to win it. Even her turf sprints earlier in the year, I thought she ran okay in a couple of them, but she hasn't run a race yet that makes her a serious contender in here, in my opinion.
Again, as Marty McGee mentioned, the 10 Goldwood only 50-50 to start in this race. If she does run, she deserves her opportunity. She's won her last 5. She's won half of her 18 lifetime starts. She just dominated this division at Monmouth over the summer, winning 4 times during their meet. And then she found a good spot at Laurel last time out as well. Here she is on the outside. She got a very nice trip tracking this horse, Escapade. I thought she had to work a little bit harder than it looked on paper to win this race, Mike, but she was really comfortable at the end.
Yeah, she gets it done again. As you said, this is her 5th win in a row. I think it's, sort of worth noting that she's been a short price in all of those races. They've just been finding really good spots for her. We'll see if she can step up her game against this field if she runs here.
Girls Know Best is the number 11, 6-1 on the line. Eddie Keneally, Corey Lannery. This horse returned off almost a 9-month layoff at Churchill Downs last time out. And I think there are 2 ways to look at that race. A, just from a visual standpoint, I thought she was very, very impressive. She went to the lead. Lannery never took the bat out. It was basically a ridden-out win in the form of a workout. 2, you could look at it as there was a race with not a lot of pace. The field has not come back very strongly, and this is going to be a lot tougher. I like the way Girls Know Best won that race. I think she can get to the front in here, and I think she's dangerous second off the long layoff.
I agree with that. I think she's dangerous in here, too. I liked her win last time. Yeah, she had all the best of it on the lead in that race, but she also won very easily, and she has form on the go-back that makes her a real contender in here.
Painting Corners added front wraps for that ladies sprint won by Morticia last time out. And I think Ricardo Santana could have been a little bit more aggressive with her. She broke well. It looked like she could have had the lead in the rail if she wanted it. Santana was like, we're going to opt for the pocket. Usually a very good spot. Maybe not at Kentucky Downs that day. She finished evenly inside. Very minor traffic late that I don't think hurt her at all. Nice outside attack post position. Drawing outside of the 11 girls know best. She can work out a trip.
Yeah, we'll see if they get more aggressive with her because she does have that kind of speed. I see what you're saying. Last time they did rate her when they could have went to the lead. She was also no match at the end of that race, I didn't think. We'll see if she can do better.
13 Ruby Notion at this point in her career might need a little bit of give in the ground to do her very best running. Note how she improved at 27-1 to win the Caress, then won the Kentucky Downs Ladies Sprint, then ran fourth in the Breeders' Cup Turf Sprint against the boys, all on tracks listed good, yielding, or soft. She hasn't had that sort of footing this year. You could also argue that she's underperformed in several starts. She's going to really have to pick it up from the back of the pack.
Yeah, she hasn't been in her best form so far this year. I think you're right that a little cut in the ground could easily move her up. And if she gets some pace in front of her, she'll come running at the end.
And perhaps the 14 Change of Control didn't like the cut in the ground last time out in the Turf Amazon. A little bit too little, too late, finishing fifth in her first start against older horses. Her buyers, though, pale in comparison with those of the top contenders, and she drew a lousy outside post position.
Yeah, she didn't draw great. I liked her win, actually, back in May at Churchill Downs. I thought she ran well that day. Her two most recent starts aren't quite as good, but maybe she can take a step forward again.
Let's take a look at our top selections for the Grade 3 Franklin County Stakes. I like the way Girls Know Best won last time out. I'm hoping Goldwood scratches. I think Corey Lannery can either get to the front or sit off Morticia with this one. And I think she'll be a strong presence turning into the stretch. She's won at Keeneland as well. 11-3-4-8. You were Alexandra's biggest fan. You made a big score on her 2 starts back in the Smart and Fancy. And all she needs to do is get in the clear at the right time, and you'll know her late.
Yeah, we'll see what kind of price she is, Dan. I don't think I'd bet her again if she takes a lot of money in here, but if she's a fair price, I just think she's in a good spot here, and her good race makes her really tough. I'm not way against your horse either. I think Girls Know Best is very interested in here. I went 2-11, 3-4.
Race number 9 at Keeneland is your DRFBets Friday race of the day, the Grade 3 Buffalo Trace Franklin County Stakes with an approximate post time of 5:30 Eastern. Good luck.